Where's everybody at? It's 8 o'clock. I'm here. Where are you? Uh, I'll wait. I'll wait. Eventually somebody gonna show up. Somebody gonna wake up and roll over. Say, time to get up. Good morning there, Erica. Chris. Chris McKenzie Thompson is always right on time. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. You three might be the only three. That's three. Oh, here we go. Carly K, good morning. Sarah, all right, they're going fast now. Sue, good morning, sweetie. Tari, good morning. Uh, Chris on the way somewhere. I couldn't see where. On the way somewhere. Good morning, Virginia. Alexa, Stephanie. All right, Peggy Irwin. Carol Cardacey. I got that name down, don't I? Anyway, good morning, guys. Yeah, hit the like button. Good morning, Ronnie. Ronnie's here. Ronnie's buddy Will is not going to be here with us this morning. He sent me a message. He's going to a farm equipment auction this morning, and wished us the best. Yeah, he wishes us the best. And I know he hates not being here, because him and Ronnie like to jump on me. But look, hey, look here. But look here. Look at this morning. Look at all this playing. Yeah, look at this playing, Ronnie. Look at that playing. Eat your heart out, son. Eat your heart out. Got this Saturday's gifts and goodies. And real soft. Real soft. Pants are a little bit big. That's okay. I can pull them up. Yeah. Is it cold? It's not cold. I just put these on mainly to aggravate. Yeah. I'm not an aggravator. You know that. I don't aggravate people, but I did. I did it today. I was weak. I was weak this morning. I woke up with a weak spot thinking I need to aggravate somebody. I knew old Ronnie would be aggravated, and probably Will would have some smart remark to make. I'm sure he'll look at this later on, and probably come Wednesday or whenever he gets back, it'll be on. Good morning there. Is it chilly? All right. Chris Bowles, good morning. Peggy, Reva, good morning, Reva. Deanna. Sometimes the names slow down enough I can kind of catch them. You know. Karen, good morning, Karen. Carla K, Lisa Hicks, Mrs. Can Do. Yeah, there she are. That's her husband's call sign, I guess you'd call it, and she just goes with that. So anytime you see Miss Can Do, it's a sweet lady. Okay, here we go. Today is Monday. We're gonna have good weather today. I think it's gonna get up in the 80s today, and the bad thing is, looking at the weather forecast, it shows Easter to be kind of rainy, and that may, depending on when it shows up, mess up our morning Easter morning service, sunrise service. And if it happens, it happens, and we'll gather up over here on the pavilion, over in Dan's big shop, something like that, you know, or Breeze garage somewhere, and just do the best we can. We want to go down there. We always have the best times down there, and it's just, you're away from all the noises. It's just all peaceful and quiet. The only thing you're going to hear is some birds and, you know, and a crow now and then and stuff like that. Yeah, her husband, Miss Can Do, husband was a Navy Seabee, and that's what they call it, you know, Can Do, and that's kind of a motto they had. And I remember that old movie, John Wayne and the Fighting Seabees. I think they had a same motto, can do, you know. Uh, okay, Dorothy, don't be late, sweetie. Dorothy's on her way to see one of her patients. Uh, yeah, I hope so too, Don. I hope the rain holds off so we can have our little fun time down there and our just family time, you know, and around the fire and have breakfast there together and have a good Bible story about Easter, you know, for everybody and not just the children, but for everybody. Uh, and then they'll have the Easter egg hunt, and it'll be a good time. And I'll drink a pot of coffee probably down there, and I may take my camper down and it kind of. I may even go down the night before and stay and have the fire going for them and everything when they get there that morning. I'm going to try to take down them old frameworks around those trees that the current, that water comes through, pushed over. Because me and Ben are going to put a cow panel around them and stake them down with the T-post. But I may go ahead and take them down and use that old wood. It's no good now, and use it for in our fire down there. It's in that fire pit. It'd be good, something good to burn, good place to burn it. We've been doing it. Kids were little when we started, so we've been doing it a long time, and we come out of there early enough that if someone wants to go on to their church, you know, uh, for their services there, they got plenty of time. And I'm sure we'll have some sort of dinner that day also, you know. So may not be a big elaborate dinner, may be something, you know, about like I did yesterday, which y'all haven't seen that yet. I was I was chief cook yesterday. Uh, we got up yesterday morning and her head was all messed up. Well, her head's always messed up. But anyway, she was coughing and just couldn't get going. And well, our turn to cook. And we had a meal planned. I said, look, don't panic. Don't panic. I'll go to Walmart. I'll go to Walmart. I'll get everything I need and I'll make the dinner. And I took a picture of her and laid on the couch. And she felt bad. She feels bad, you can see it. And not just hear it, you can see it. But and that little old tiki right up underneath her neck, both of them sound asleep around the couch, and I'm cooking away. I'm cooking away. No, I did a good meal. I ain't gonna tell you what it was. You have to wait next Sunday and watch me cook. uh, okay, Danica bought all her girls' dresses for Easter. They all be all decked out pretty. Uh, Good morning, Deborah from Waterford, Michigan. You are here. Good. Good to have you here. Judy, you love the plaid? I do too, but I do this mainly to aggravate Ronnie, because Ronnie wears plaids, but he don't like nobody to know it. But one day he goes to town. You know, he's not feeling good, and he kind of stumbles out in his truck. At least he had clothes on. And at least he had clothes. And drives off. Don't say nothing to his wife. He went to get, I don't know what he had to get some medicine or something. And he's wearing his plaids, his little plaid jammies. Yeah. You can go to Walmart, Cleveland, and see people in their jammies every day. Yeah. Ladies come in there, hair in their rollers. Yeah. Little old 90 things on. I had a friend. I ain't gonna say his name. He says the best sights in the world in the mornings. Just go up there to Walmart, walk around with your cart like you're shopping, and watch all these ladies coming in their little night stuff on. Oh, you don't tell me about it, man. I'll end up repeating this. But anyway, he comes back and he comes in the door with this little bag of groceries or whatever it was. His wife said, "You didn't go to town like it is." Yeah, why? Where you got your jammies on? Oh. But Ronnie's like that. He's kind of out there. Uh, they had Diane's sister's funeral, and he said there was so many people there that knew her and loved her and family and stuff. Saturday is, and he was exhausted. I talked to him Saturday night, and he was just whipped out. And him and Diane just got home and tired. It was almost all. Buster, please, y'all don't hurt nobody. Uh, if something moves out there, Buster knows it. He knows it. But anyway, so they've had the funeral, and they back home, and just keep them in your prayers. I talked to my older brother last night actually, in Seattle, or in Washington State. He lives down close to the border, 2 hours from Portland, he said, and Portland, Oregon. It's 2 hours from him. And he does he's kind of out in a remote area. And he said a lot of their shopping stuff, they buy stuff, comes out of Portland, like the feed store he uses. Can you imagine going 2 hours to a feed store? Yeah, I can imagine going 2 hours to see Ralph. Ralph, hey, I wouldn't be going once a week. Yeah, but they do. They make a trip, probably, once a month, twice a month, get everything they need for his farm. And anyway, he's 90 years old. He was turned 90 in January, and pretty good health. He has some issues like everybody else does as we get older. Everything wants to flare up, now and then. But I enjoyed talking to him, and the weather's getting a little bit better there. It's still not as warm as it is here, but he worked. He retired from Seattle. He had a business there in Seattle, and he retired from there. And his son took it up, and he still runs it, I think. And his son comes up like he's 3 hours from Seattle, so I kind of give you a little bit of a distance there. His son comes to visit almost every weekend and helps him do anything that needs to be done. Or, if there's something going on, he'll come, drive up and do it, help him do it. But, as we get older, there's things we can't do. I can't climb up on roofs no more. I could, I guess, but I might fall off, I don't want to do any falling. But everything's good here, I think. This time of the year, we worry. We worry. Maybe we shouldn't. But, we start thinking about weather patterns and stuff, and hurricane season coming, and those tropical depressions blow in here, and we worry about the water, the rain, the water. So we deal with that every time there's a big rain, we start dealing with that. Okay, Connie works in her flower beds. Awesome. Yeah, Patty, you're here, sweetie. You didn't miss it. Martina Van Camp sent me a bunch of beautiful pictures. Thank you. I love them. Elena sends me little clips of stuff and puts music with them and all that stuff. It's really neat stuff, and goes back to some of the old videos and takes little clips and sends them to me. I really like them. They're really neat. Good morning, Kathy. Well, Patty, thank you. I'm her happy place. Ronnie, you hear that? I'm someone's happy place. I love that. Yeah. I'm a happy place for somebody. I'm a happy place for Buster and Woody. Cuz come by yesterday afternoon, and it'll be on my next Sunday video. It's a long video. You may not watch all of it, but it got turned into a lot longer video than I planned, about 40 minutes. But it's me trying to prepare our food, and then us all having dinner, and then Cuz showed up, and we went back to Camp Patty. He says, had asked Ivan, you talk about Ivan. He's not back here, is he? I said, no, but I can let him out. No, don't let him out. All he wants to do is mess with me. Uh, and so he said, I'll get the gate. He said, them goats not out, are they? I said, no, but I can let them out too. No, don't let nothing out. So he went back, him and myself, Buster, Kippy, and Woody, and we sat back and had about 2 hours. Just sat back there chatting, talk about old times and stuff, family, and we was talking about family. Uh, you know, I was talking to Joanne, and she was telling me about one of my cousins had passed away. I didn't know he'd passed away. She said she'd just heard it. Wasn't no relation like to her, except through my brother, you know. But we got to thinking, me and cousin got to talking about it, different cousins. You know, we've lost most all of our cousins. You know, there's not very many left. Some of the cousins in different families are all gone, and you know, and cousins, growing up with cousins, they seem like they're always your best. If they're close by, they're your best friends. You know, you're always doing stuff with your cousins. But then as people get older, they move out, move away, and you lose touch with them. You know, some move out of state even, and some of ours moved out of state, get married, you know, and go. But then you don't really know their kids at all. I guess they'd be what, a second cousin or whatever. You don't know them hardly at all, or at all. You know, you might meet one on the street, wouldn't know who they was. You lose touch. You know, I'm hoping my family stays close enough, my kids and my grandkids stay close enough to know their cousins and such. You know, and stay close to them. You know, uh, cousin him never moved away except for one time his dad on his job. So that's why he and I stayed close all these years. You know, we've always hung out together. They moved away 2 different times. His dad was in construction, and they moved to Arkansas once for a couple of years, and then the job took him over to Wyoming, I think, for a couple of years, and then they come back. So, but besides that, you know, and the time I was in service, him and I've been around together all these times. Uh, Connie cooked barbecue ribs. Oh, don't start telling me about food, folks. Now, I'm not suffering, but I am. Yesterday, I probably fudged a little bit, and the doctor told me, said, now and then you fudge a little bit may not hurt you. And I did probably fudge a little bit. Uh, it's hard for Sunday dinner. I can go all week and stay pretty close to a diet, and I'm not suffering at all. Because I'll tell you about my one morning, maybe tomorrow morning, when start my video, I'll show you my breakfast. I'll make it for you. Yes, my Lord. I'm not going to tell you about it right now. I may show it to you in the morning. But uh, Joe is diabetic on our page here. Super good friend. And she's a diabetic, and she sent me all the stuff that she's done to bring her numbers down, and they've come down, you know, in weight and numbers and everything, and the kind of stuff she uses. And she's big into this keto, expensive stuff, but you know the carbs are way down in this stuff, you know, and she got me some low carb bread, but I only have one slice, and I can only eat one slice, you know. I think you're supposed to keep your carbs down 40 or 50 a day, something like that. You know, for different people, maybe I fudged yesterday a little bit, not bad. A lot of you guys, yeah, I'm type 2 also, sweetie. I see there. Uh, and I don't mind, you know, if it's you got something you do and it works for you. It works for you. It works good. You can send me some of your ideals. You know, I'm open to them. Uh, I know. Talk about the bacon. Okay. But listen, different ones say, yeah, you can eat this, and different ones say you can eat that, and everybody, then I'm told you need to go see a nutritionist, a diet, a diabetic nutritionist, whatever, and they'll give you a good list of what you need. Well, yeah, I could do that probably too. But kind of go with what my doctor said. I mean, he may not be a pro, but they're a doctor. Uh, like that donut at the feed store. One donut a week, and mainly that's mainly just to aggravate Ronnie and Will, because it just irritates them to know PawPaw's getting a free donut. Now, if I had to pay for it, they wouldn't say a word. They wouldn't say a word. But being I get it free, it just aggravates them. I love it. But one donut a week probably ain't gonna hurt me. But at the same time, Connie, I'm taking that metformin. I didn't want to. I put it off, put it off, put it off. And she says, try it. If you feel anything different or you have any kind of side effects at all, we'll do something different. So far, I've only been doing 2 or 3 days. It hasn't bothered me a bit. And I found out a couple of friends of mine have been taking it for years, and with no problems. Uh, so she says start off taking one. It's supposed to be a 2-tablet a day thing. One in the morning, one at night. She says start off with one in the morning with a meal. Make sure you're eating when you take it. Okay. And she said, and just do that for a few days, and then if no problems, go ahead and start taking your night one. So okay, I can do that. And so far, I have had no issues whatsoever. Yeah, she's been taking it, Cindy, for 20 years. And, my friend Steve has been taking it for 12, 14 years too, and it hasn't bothered him any. Some people can't take it. And she told me, yeah, some people can't take it, and if that's the case, we'll do something else. In fact, her husband was taking it, and but now I think he's got, I don't know if his numbers are down to the point, he just takes a Ozempic, something like that, a shot once a week. I don't know about these shots. I can't give myself a shot, and I sure don't want G give me one. No, in the belly? No, please. Now, if they had one of the little EpiPens where you stick it up there to you and hit that little button, and it like that might be okay. But anyway, her husband does that, and his numbers stay good. But you also still got to watch your diet, and stuff. And fudgy now and then, maybe a little fudgy now and then. My big old banana puddings, I know they're out, and I know they're out. And there's other things I'll have to give up probably. But I'm not a big sweet person. Well, I am sweet, but I'm not a big sweet eater. Uh, I could go without pie or cake forever. No, I like it, but I mean, it's not that I crave it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so anyway, but I'll show y'all tomorrow morning my morning breakfast. I do it myself. It's quick, it's easy, and it's actually, I didn't think it would, but it actually carries me right on through the day to the middle of the day. I don't feel hungry at all, and I'm sure I can lose some weight with it. And in the evenings, the afternoon, I had a small bowl of beans and a couple of pickles. Yeah, a couple of pickles, and one slice of that low carb bread she got me, and I did okay. And a big old jalapeno pepper, did okay. And then at the evening meal, which you guys call dinner, I call it supper, I had a big salad. Uh, I think the first salad of the day, I cut up some boiled chicken into my salad with lettuce and celery and bell peppers and some jalapenos chopped up in it. And for the dressing, I use olive oil and apple cider vinegar, the mother, the kind with all the good stuff in it. And I make a little dressing with it. It's good. It's supposed to not be bad for you. So I don't never have really cared that much about. She's all stay away from sweet drinks, like Cokes and Dr. Peppers, Ronnie, and all this kind of stuff with the sweeteners in it. And that's why no problem there. Uh, if I drink tea, I'll drink unsweetened tea. I like unsweetened tea. In fact, I go to a restaurant sometime, I'll order unsweetened tea. Uh, I'd rather drink that. And sometimes you go to this place that regular tea and it'll be too sweet. Just can't drink that stuff. So anyway, I'm good. I'm good. But you got some ideas, you can send them a recipe or something real simple. Simple. uh, anyway, we're going to do fine on it, okay? We're going to be all right. So let's see what you guys got going for y'all. I've told you my story now. Y'all do know that little Dot is back. I told y'all that he should come back. I'd already posted that video about Kim coming to get her. And Kim loved her. She's so sweet. She's dad. The minute I set her down, she'd start looking for her friends. Go to the fences, looking all out, walking and crying around the fence. I can't just sit and hold her. And I said, she said she needs her little friends back. And I brought her back, set her over the fence. She went straight to Owen. Not to old mama, not to her old mama, straight to Owen. Yeah, they're out there right now beside that fence waiting for breakfast. I try to feed them about 9 o'clock. About 9 I feed them. I feed them again about 1:30, then again about 7. Kind of space it out, if I can. And they're getting 3 bottles a day. Eventually, once they start eating and they're trying to eat, I give them some sweet feed yesterday, and they nibbled at it. Once they start eating good, then I'll cut them to 2 bottles, but I'll increase the milk in them. And they get a bottle in the morning, a bottle at night. And that's the way it'll stay until almost weaning time. Then I'll cut it to 1 bottle for a while. And then finally, no bottle. What happened, PawPaw? We run out of milk. Yeah, G orders the grocery. She says, we need milk. Yeah, we need extra milk, baby. Extra milk. So I think she orders 4 gallons at a time. Okay, Penny, you've been diagnosed with it too? Everybody, I guess there's several different things you can take out there. My nephew, Kenny, couldn't take metformin. And they put him on Jardins or something like that. But he also takes a shot once a week. I don't. As long as they get by without a shot. But his wife's a nurse, so she knows how to give shots. And he said I could do it myself. I don't know if I could do it myself. But if it's one of those EpiPens where you stick it over to you, I think you click a little thing and it kind of shoots it in there. That might be different. Yeah, that might be a little bit different. We'll see. Hopefully don't get that far, I'm hoping, praying that I can bring these numbers back down. I may have to stay on the medication, and watch my diet. No, that's fine. But just get out of the danger zone, with the numbers. Okay, that's all I'm going to talk about me. We're talking about you guys now. Sharon, thinks somebody blocked her. Sharon, I don't know anything about blocking. What happened? I think I only blocked one person. I mean, I know how to do it. One person. In the 2 or 3 years I've been doing this stuff. And they was very ugly to me and my family. Or about me and my, well, not about me, but about my family. And I go, no family's perfect. Mine sure ain't. I'm not perfect, although most folks think I am, Ronnie. But when someone starts in on somebody's family, you don't have to listen to that, And like I say, they're not perfect. They all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But it wasn't so much, well, so and so didn't do this with that animal, or so and so didn't do that. They should have done that. Okay, that's fine. But they got to the point of us talking about about them, you know, and not just one, it's several. That's a because see, here's the thing: you share it out, and you get caught up in that. There are people I've seen them that just kind of surf along the internet looking for stuff to comment on, and most time they're not a happy person. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with nothing. What's this guy doing? Yeah, they throw some kind of off the wall stuff out there, and they go on to somebody else. Well, they're not really with us. They're not our family like usins, like usins are, or weans. So those they are. They're, thank you, Sal. They're miserable. There's some miserable folks out there. I feel sorry for them. Uh, anyway, I don't know anything about Sharon you getting blocked by anybody, but you're not blocked here, I guess. You're still on here. Weans, yeah, weans and usins, yeah. Uh, Good morning there, Anna Maria Piazza, and good morning, Deborah Barnes. Uh, and I didn't see what you said you call them, trails or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying not to throw my cup down hard. Try not to slurp. Some of y'all changed my whole character. What happened to old PawPaw? He don't slam his cup down no more. What happened to old PawPaw? He don't slurp. Some things ain't gonna change. Okay, they ain't gonna change. Trolls. Oh yeah, trolls. Yeah, I've heard that term. Yeah, trolls. Yeah, you're right. Trolls. I misspelled it. I was, you know, looking at it. Yeah, you can ignore Alicia. You can ignore folks like that some until you really get personal, and then yeah, okay. Michelle, she slurps her tea. Me and you just alike, sweetie. We slurp. Uh, but yeah, there's some out there. Uh, there's some Sharon Sachs. Okay. Uh, I don't know if I've seen Peggy Coleman yet. Some names just you remember. I know all your names. I see you, and then sometimes I see a strange name, and I think you're probably pretty new. Uh, uh, Someone there from the Netherlands. I love it to see where people are from, and you think, yeah, Cornholio passed. I'm told. I don't know anything about it. Uh, in fact, Ronnie told me that Cornholio had passed. Uh, I see Ellie now every day or so, but we don't just talk about just our animals and stuff. Funny thing was, he loaned us his pressure washer when Ben washing the house. Nice one too. It's one of gasoline jug. It pumps hard. Boy, you know. But Ben had the hose turned around and it come back across the muffler, burn a little hole in it, and all of a sudden Ben lost his pressure. Hey, I got a pressure. Well, yeah, Ben, look here. It's all coming out over here. So luckily, uh, my old one wasn't working, and that's when we borrowed that one. Kim calls and says, "Well, I've got one. Come get mine." Well, hers had been sitting out there in the barn ever since she had it, said she couldn't use it, and she said it's just sitting out there in a box. Well, the little O-rings had dry rotted on it. You got little O-rings and the connections, so it wouldn't work. Now I'll order some O-rings. So I got mine out and started tinkering with it, working on it. Finally got it. Had to, because it had been borrowed, and the rats had chewed the end of it. I had to put a new end on it, a wire. And so I put a new end on it, got it all going. Ben didn't have nothing to work with. Got it going. Ah, boys. And I ordered, went on Amazon. I found a perfect, well, the exact match for LE's uh, power washer. I ordered it. It came, and he come yesterday, or the day before. He says, "PawPaw, y'all threw my power washer." I said, "Yeah, but you have to give me a minute." And he said, "Why? What's wrong?" I said, "Well, I got to fix it." So I said, "Go get it, bring it out here." Because the hose is still in the box. I had never put it on there. So he rode out there, and I said, "Okay." And I told him what happened. He laughed about it. So we put the hose on. It didn't take 2 or 3 minutes to put the hose on it. And he was happy. He was gone. But he got it back fixed, good as new. And I'll work on Kim's one of these days to get it going. I ordered the O-rings. I just haven't had time to put them on there. But I'll take it apart and put O-rings in it. Uh, Ben is supposed to come today or tomorrow. And I'll move this over for a minute. And that white trailer you see out there, it's a cargo trailer. I bought it to make a feed room out of it and never did it. It ended up stuff, full of stuff. I don't know where stuff comes from. It just shows up. Uh, no, it's got stuff. Now, boys, come on. Hey, y'all leave people alone. You cannot go out there hurting people every morning. Uh, it's got like shovels and rakes and hoes, and then it's got a bunch of totes in there with garden stuff in it. It's got a bunch of uh, just different things. It's got Daniel's old show box that he had in high school. Uh, and I told him yesterday I'm going to send it over. I had Ben take it, put it in the bucket of the tractor and bring it over to your shop. Said, yeah, it'd be good. He'd put it back in the shop. But stuff like that, Senator Woody. No, sir. Uh, so anyway, he comes. He's going to be cleaning that out, and I'm going to try to go back to Camp Patty. I'm going to take him old framework down. I may have to get Ben to help me on them, and take them back to Camp Patty to burn. And I'm going to also mow back there this week and weed eat. And if the rain don't show up, then we'll have a good clean. It's always clean, but you know, the grass be cut down short for the little children. And everybody goes back there loves it. You know, just talking about it at the table. Everybody, you know, oh yeah, go to Camp Patty and do it. Camp Patty, yeah. And I love that name, Camp Patty, because it'll always be known as Camp Patty. Once you give something a name, you know, Longhorn Lester's will all be Longhorn Lester. You can call it what you want to, but everybody around here is going to refer to that place as Longhorn Lester's or J&L. You know, it's always going to be referred to as that. You know, I was a little boy, and this old field out here is called the Hale Field. Now, I used to think it was like H-E-L-L, like hell. Yeah, because there's a lot of work on that field. We baled hay out there. Yeah. Now, oh yeah, we're going to that Hale Field because it's going to be hell. Well, it's actually H-A-L-E. And it was named after a man back in the 1800s that come across the river back there, and that place is called Hale's Ford. It was a crossing. And they named it after that old man. It's still called Hale's Ford, but people around the community, at least people used to be around the community, everybody moved off and died off now, it seems like, but it was always Hale's Ford and the old Hale Field, because that old fella come over and he plowed part of that old field out there. He had crops out there. And it's always kept that name. And our old property down there, the very far corner, which over in Joanne's now, my brother's, it's always called the lower land corner. It's a description. Lower land corner. That's the lower end of the property, and it's the land property corner. Still that name. And My brother, I heard him say 1,000 times, I'm fishing down at the lower land corner. You know, he'd be fishing down that way, you know, and stuff. Yeah, it's just always been that, or camping out down there, you know. The more names stick. Uh, okay. Now y'all heard all. I'm not telling you no more about me. I want to listen to see what you guys got going. Yeah, thank you, Judy. I love it too. It's the most peaceful place around here. You go down there, you don't hear no sounds but birds and maybe Bigfoot walking in the woods. Uh, Ronnie, that could be the no hope range. Ronnie, that's probably the truth, bud. No hope here. No hope. No hope range. Out in California, I remember this place. Uh, used to go by it all the time, and I worked out there. Uh, and it's called El Rancho No Gata. It's somebody, I don't know who owned it, but that little ranch, small place, this is El Rancho No Gata. I thought it was really cute. Uh, uh, Ivan is back in with the ghosts. I put Miracle in with him because Ivan, now he got blamed for something he didn't do. He did not cause that donkey of Jace to jump out. I was out there. Ivan in the back pasture of the cows. That was them little horses, Dan's two and my little Gidget, running back and forth because I'd let Gidget and the goats out. And she was running back and forth along the fence with the mother two little ponies. And he would run up the fence. Every time they come up to his corner and turn around and run back, he'd run up. At one point, he just didn't stop. And I was out there, I watched the whole thing. So it wasn't Ivan's fault, but now Ivan does aggravate. And I did catch him aggravating a couple of times. And finally I said, that's it, that's it, buddy. You come up there, you stand just out of reach, you know, and look at him. Well, that little donkey wants to bite him and getting angry because I was just standing there looking at him. You know, like, I'm the real donkey, but he don't call himself a donkey. Yeah, so I said, that's enough. I'd go out there and make him go back. Followed him all the way to the pasture one day. And the next morning, there him and Miracle out there. Because see, the problem is, she comes up to the barn at night, and I was going to be with her. And she stops off at the barn, the old barn, and he just walks over to the fence and stands there. You know, hey, look at me, you know. So I pinned him up. He can't get over there until, yeah, he's supposed to be going to Honey Hill, and then, you know, I'll put Ivan back out, but he's in good shape. He's fine right now. Don't hurt him to be pinned in with the goats during the day. He can't get into the goat pen at night, and not because of him, but because of Miracle's with him. She's a brute. Miracle will walk over you, step on you, push you out of the way. You know, run over you. It don't matter. You know, she's a brute. And I don't want her stepping on them little goats or something in there, you know, getting there knocking them around or whatever. Ivan, yeah, he's a cute ass. At least, yeah, he's a cute ass. Yeah, I've heard that expression many times. But anyway, yeah, he's back in. Him and Miracle got access to the pasture with the goats. But I put that little gate up. It's a panel, and it's made for this. It's real heavy, a cow panel with a frame built around it. Fits just inside a gate. You tie it off on each end. And it's got a space cut out big enough for a goat to go through. But nothing else can. And so the goats go in and out, you know, until nighttime. And I close the other gate behind it, cuts them off completely because I don't want something else coming in there at night. And so anyway, that's how it's working out there, and it's doing good. They got their own water, their own shelter. Goats got their own water, their own shelter. And during the day, though, they can all run back and forth both areas, you know. But they can't come in with little goats at night. Donna only watches PawPaw and Kim. Well, we're glad to have you, sweetie. Very glad to have you. I guarantee you Kim's happy, and I guarantee I am too. I get kind of, not depressed. I'm not going to say depressed, but when your numbers don't, look good or looking, they're going down some, you think, well, you need more content or you need whatever, I don't have the time or I'm not really able to have a whole lot more stuff going than what I have going. And it finally work just peters out, as the expression goes. It just will, I guess. But as long as I got you folks sticking with me, and we good. We good. Cause you guys jump on here on 3 days a week, and I know you're the same ones that watch my videos during the week because we talk about back and forth about them. You're with me every day, and don't go to sleep with it. Don't go to sleep. Can't stand it. Can't stand it when you want to just ball up and go to sleep with it. Me and Cuz sitting there yesterday at that little table. Buster gets up on the table and flops down and goes to sleep. Woody hops up there and goes to sleep. Yes, you did. So we're sitting there across the table talking, and 2 dogs between us, asleep. Kippy don't want up on the table, so he's sitting there beside my foot, asleep. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, he got a haircut. Him and Birdie both up there on Saturday. G and I, but G and Kim dropped them off. They dropped them off on their way out going somewhere, and she called me and said, Woody and Birdie are ready. I said, I'll be right there. And I walked in that door, and I always take my camera with me if I can. And 2 little guys they went just nuts. They saw their pawpaw. They went nuts. They was in the same little crate or kennel together. And the little haircuts, they look so cute. Lots of dogs in there, but these 2 went nuts. The dogs saying, what's wrong with them people? Really sweet people out there. They've been doing it for years. It's a couple of ladies, and it's up, it's up off the, I can go up steps, and I can go up steps, no big deal, but you can't go up and down steps with 2 dogs, and or I can't. So I pay her, and she says, let me bring one of them. I said, okay. She said, I know you want to carry Woody. I said, yeah, I do. Because he just like this in her arms trying to get to me, and I got him, and he's happy. And I took him, and she brought Birdie out, put her in the car, and we come home. They were just happy little dogs they could be. They got here, and you could just see them showing off these other guys, showing off how they look. Okay, Dot, yes, she got the pictures. I'm pretty sure she got the pictures, yes. Loves them. I told you I'd take the pictures you wanted sent to Buddy and Steph, and I sent them down. I took them that very day. Kind of guy I am. That very day. I have not given the cards out that was sent to Connor and Lex yet. I got them. Connor was not home this weekend. Lex will be here Thursday, and Connor will be here this weekend, so I'll give them then. Kim is a go-getter. Kim's our go-to for some kind of, not our technical advice for sure. She might let Levi make that decision. But if I need something done, she's the first one I'll call because she's right here. She's right here. And everybody else works. Everybody works. Everybody has a job, But she's right here, and she don't mind coming. If she's busy, she'll tell you that I can't come right now. I'll be out there later or whatever, and that's fine. As long as you know. So she waits for no man unless it's Dan. That's exactly right. The old Dan gets caught up with her. Oh my goodness. And it's funny to hear him talk about it. He says, Dan, can you come help me? And she starts out whining, and I can't say no. I said, well, she's playing you, boy. She's playing you. They start that whining stuff. That's what it is. Uh, but anyway, someone just said Kim will give Dot a good home to come across, but Dot's already back. Dot's back. She's back with her little Owen. They sleep together, and it's funny. It's funny in a way, sad in a way too. Their parents are there. Their moms, both of them, moms are there. And the moms have the other child or children, like Sophie's got those two. Oh, my little girl, boy and girl. And little old Dot just, you know. And same way with Cuddles, she got her little book. And who's that? Your little old Owen. So her and Owen, they sleep together. They lay out there and take naps together today. I come out and holler Owen, and she comes too. And her little tail just going. So they're buddies of all. They'll always be buddies, and they'll always have to stay together. I wish, if I'd have knew this in a time, it's a little bit too late now, I would have dehorned her also. His little scabs have fell off, and it's fixed to start growing hair on his little head. He's two white spots right now on his head. But, he'll have no horns. And I wish that had done her that way. And if I knew I was going to be putting her on a bottle, I would have. I had no idea at the time. Sophie seemed like she was taking good care of them. But when you only got two tits, well, don't say it, PawPaw. Sorry. You only got two, and you got two kids, or three kids. One's got to take a turn here. And if you don't watch it, the two bigger ones will get it every time. Because a goat, I don't know, they don't care, don't realize, well, little Dot didn't get nothing. I better give her something now. Because she'll stop, and man, them two will hit it. And in seconds, I'm talking minutes, I'm talking seconds. They've got what she's going to give them right then. She walks off. She pulls away from them and walks off. So that third one didn't get it, didn't get nothing, because she's not going to stop and let that third one come up and get nothing. But usually, if they're all three equally sized, and they'll push around and finally all three of them will get something. But it just didn't happen with her. I've seen goats that had more than three do okay with them, but this was not working out, and I should have realized it sooner. And I did realize when I saw her dragging behind. Every time they went somewhere, she's dragging behind. And she's not getting. She don't have the energy she should have, And so that's when I made that decision to take her and become mom to her, And if it had been a big herd of goats out there, a big herd, a person couldn't watch, she'd have died. She at some point fell out of the pack, and people have lots and lots of goats. They can't watch every one of them, and you got just a few. It's easier, especially when like me. I'm retired. I'm here every day, I'm out there half the time, Somebody calls, where's Dad? He's out back somewhere. Yeah, but I wish Dad had saw it sooner. Or I just took her sooner. Maybe I should have just took her the day she was born. She's the littlest one. I should have just done it then. But I didn't. So that's my life story, folks. Y'all have heard it all. Okay, Janet. Janet's birthday. Connie, thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Janet. Happy birthday to you. That was free. I ain't gonna charge you. I ain't charging you a dime for that. I, I probably should have been a singer instead of a bus driver. Levi rode my bus. You know, I drove a special needs bus for the last 10 years. I think I drove a bus. You ain't gonna believe this. And he's probably, well, I do. Look at you. I drove a school bus 41 years. 41 years. And 30, well, actually, I drove a special needs 11. 30 of those years was a big bus. You know, it was lots of kids, lots of kids. The last 11 years that I've drove, and I taught the first 20. Then I retired from the teaching part. I had enough time to get out of that classroom, but I kept driving. But by that time, bus drivers were getting fair good pay. Plus, I was getting a retirement check. But that's okay. Uh-uh. So uh, they offered me. They asked me if I want to drive a special needs bus. Then I could have Levi's bus. Well, yeah, I'd love to drive Levi. And the little lady that worked on there was named Lady, and I've told y'all about her before. Nice little Christian lady, just sweet as she could be. A little petite lady, just as sweet as she could be, but had a beautiful voice. And she was always singing to these kids, you know. And the little guys get on that bus, and Levi's sitting there in the front seat, you know, and he loved her. And he'd want to hug her every day. I said, he'd get up and I said, hug her tight, Levi, tight. He, tighter, Levi, ain't crunch your little bones. You know, Gene Morrow, I hate you. And I had a lot of fun with her. She's passed away here a couple of 2 or 3 years ago. But sweet, sweet lady. But anyway, I got to where I'd sing with them too, you know, and we'd sing some different songs that I knew. She knew all kinds of songs. I didn't know that many. And so we'd go down the road singing. And little kids, they loved every bit of it. But you know, uh, children, kind of like, I'll tell you a funny story. You never told, well, I probably told this before somebody, but about you guys, but I'm going to tell you a story. Dangerous. It could have been dangerous, but it wasn't. Uh, these little blankets people send people, they're little fuzzy, lightweight blankets. She had went somewhere and bought a bunch of them, and she folded them and kept them stacked on a seat, one of the seats of the bus. Okay, and every morning little kids get on. If they wanted a blanket, she'd give them one of the little blankets, and she'd take them home every week and every Friday and wash them and come back, bring them all back, you know, fresh on Monday. But the thing was, you know, all it did was cover it up with them. Yeah, and might be cold. It's kind of like a security blanket, maybe. You know, like a little Linus dragging that blanket. But the kids did that. We had a lot of little kids too. And one day, some kid, y'all, he just throwed his and it kind of draped over. Another little kid kind of slumped down the corner. And the next kid come out, throwed his blanket, not knowing, throwed it on him, and it covered this kid up. Well, I'm just driving. You know, she's back there, you know, getting them off at the right stops. We had 3 schools to stop at. We stopped the last stop. They all got off. And she says, oh, my Lord. I said, what? She says, let's get the kid's name. He's still on here. We done been to his school and left. Well, you know, not a big deal, but in a way it could have been a big deal, you know. But it would have been a big deal if she didn't take them blankets every day and fold them back up. And plus, we had to check the buses. We couldn't get off the bus without checking every seat because, you know, in different times, different places, you've heard of horror stories where a child get left on the buses. So we checked our buses every day. Plus, you'd take all the blankets and fold them all up neat and put them back in the back seat. So I drive back to that school, and luckily the lady still was out at the bus stop taking kids. And she said, oh, you back again? I said, yeah, got you a late one. Never told her what happened. I wasn't about to tell her what happened. She said, oh, I hope nobody knows. I said, it don't matter. The kid's here on time. Everything's good. But I said, you got to start checking them better, baby girl. Oh, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I love that. All right, guys, we've been here an hour. Y'all have heard everything I know. Uh, I didn't have to make up no stories for Ronnie this morning. And, oh, okay, you still got your son's blanket. Yeah, and wife's pregnant. That baby will get that blanket, probably won't it? Yeah, their little blankets are warm. They're warm. Yeah, I sometimes, and I've been sent several. I've got several out there. I got one with pictures of Heidi all over it out there in my camper. But we've been sent several of those things, and they are warm, and the kids get one out of the box sitting there in the living room, and they are watching TV or something, so they see, just wrap up. It's not cold, but they just wrap up. They just like the feel of it, I guess. Uh, Rodney was probably a little bit quieter this morning, but he didn't have Will to kind of get going with him. Those two, they're bad. They're bad people. They're bad people. But they like to cause trouble. But and they kind of feed off each other. You've seen people feed off each other. That's where they are. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. Tomorrow morning on my video, when I start my video for tomorrow morning, I'm going to show you guys my breakfast. I know, oh, you shouldn't eat that, but it's low in carbs. It's low, it's good, and it ties me over. It ties me over. All right, guys, I love you guys. I'm out of here. Y'all have a great day. I've enjoyed having you here. I like the way we are. And if you're new, you're welcome. Hope you come back. Bring somebody with you. I love you guys. Y'all take care.